Heart failure occurs when your heart muscle no longer can pump normally as it should and is unable to deliver blood to the rest of the body as it would normally. And this is a result of either it being weak or stiff. And as a result, because of it's weak or stiff, what happens are two things. One thing is that you're not going to get enough blood and oxygen to your tissues and cells. And the other thing is the blood in the heart starts to back up and starts to cause the fluid back up and build up. So normally, as the heart is trying to pump blood to the rest of the body, as it starts to back up, it backs up into the heart muscle itself, and the heart muscle starts to stretch, and that's what we call sometimes an enlarged heart, because instead of blood going forward, it's actually going backwards. So initially, the heart muscle will get overstretched, will become enlarged, larger than the fist size that it normally should be. The other thing is that it will then back up further, because the left side of the heart receive blood from the lungs. It will then start to back up and swell the lung tissues. Then it can back up even further and start to cause swelling in your abdomen, your legs, and your feet. And for those reasons, you will have some symptoms such as weakness, tiredness, lack of energy, because you're not getting enough oxygen and blood to the parts of the body that's needed. And the other thing is when you have swelling in the lungs, you're going to have problems with shortness of breath. Our lungs should be airy and filled with air, and instead with it being filled up with fluid, you're going to find yourself maybe having shortness of breath on normal activities that you normally do, and gradually notice that you can't walk to the mailbox as fast as you could because you've got fluid in the lungs. The other thing is, a lot of times people find themselves short of breath when they're sleeping or lying down. They can no longer lie flat anymore. They have to sleep with like maybe 2 or 3 or 4 pillows. Sometimes people will complain and say they have to sleep in a recliner in order to be able to breathe more comfortably. And again, this is all because the swelling of fluid is happening in the lungs. When it goes to the abdomen or the stomach area, a lot of times people will complain about feeling like a lack of appetite or feeling full right away because their belly is so bloated and full of fluid that they can't eat as much as they used to. And other problems they may complain about is constipation, because things have slowed down in that area, that they're not having good bowel movements and those kinds of things. Gradually, and I call it late signs, it will go into your thighs and in your legs and eventually into your feet. And you will notice that the swelling is puffy. You'll have puffy feet. You will notice that perhaps you can't put your feet in your shoes that normally used to fit. And unfortunately, a lot of times people believe that the body will take care of itself and the swelling will eventually go down. And unfortunately, in heart failure, this is not going to be happening because the heart is weak and is not able to deliver sufficient amount of fluid to the kidneys to get rid of that extra fluid, and instead it finds its way into other parts of the body and the swelling.